Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be a deck with a run with a Frostbite plus Burn Raodan deck. We are currently on getting the beta version here is going to be important. We are on beta version 6125. So some of the cards are probably going to change again. This beta, one of the big changes we got is we have a new card called Frost Shield. Flammable Bolt is not currently in the game. It got turned into Frost Shield, but we're getting a different version of Flammable Bolt back in the next patch, I believe. Fire Shield says gain 10 shield, give burn 2 to all enemies. Barrier of Frost is another card that's changed relatively recently. It used to be like gain shield, and you got purity 1 if an enemy is frozen. It still gives purity if an enemy is frozen, but now instead of giving a flat amount of shield, it is 4 base plus 1 for every rank of Frostbite across all enemies. The other relevant card here is Frostfire. And so Frostfire, it used to be like 4 mana, you did like 2 damage, and you applied Frostbite 2 and burn 2 to any enemy. Now, it is either Frostbite 5 and burn 1, or burn 5 and Frostbite 1, after you, depending on what you play this after. Aside from that, we have a Distill Elements just to make it a little bit easier to play out the Frost Nova once we upgrade it, and it also opens up just a couple more cards we can pick up later. It helps in some specific monster fights. We have, it's not really worth going through the whole pool. The important thing is like we have all the relevant burn cards, we have all the relevant Frostbite cards, and we're just going to kind of pivot between Frostbite or burn depending on what specific cards we see. Because that's one nice thing about the way that Frostfire is set up right now is that if we want to go, we can support either Glacial Touch or Firestorm or Stoke Fire Flames depending. One thing I don't have right now is Increasing Inferno. The Biting Cold, I don't know if I'm going to keep it in the list. It was so-so in my last run. One of the other notes here is that we are kind of dependent on our rare mana to some extent, or our epic mana to some extent, because we don't have that many mana cards here, and the ones we have aren't amazing. But that shouldn't be a huge issue, but we'll see. So we want to take that. Extra max mana is kind of nice. Like, we don't get extra starting mana from that anymore, but there's still some uses. Pyrotic tends to be good. Recovery Tonic tends to be okay. And I have plenty of gold, so one of the notes here is, looking at weather, we would like to see Icy Gale or Scorching Winds. We don't have Scorching Winds, which is unfortunate. We do have an Icy Gale, although it isn't until Area 3. I think we might fight Battering Ramparts. Forest has some things that we want, but you know, Ramparts is the new hotness, and Wildstorm is cool. And we aren't even fighting Benta Hell, which is always a nice surprise. None of these things do a ton for us. The Scimitar's okay, I guess. Gives us a crit chance. This card tends to be pretty good. It's not really on theme, but it's good. So, of these, let's see. That's okay. It's a little bit risky, but hopefully we'll be fine. That's not particularly useful to us. That is pretty good, though. I'm thinking we don't really care about either of those. We don't care about either of those. I don't think we care about any of this. Like, that's fine. Cloudy coverage is fine, but it also can cause problems. And this way we get those 2 elites. So we're going to start here. We actually get 3 weather nodes in the same weather, which is fairly rare. All right, we're going to start with, I think we're going to start by playing that. You're going to, we want burn out of that, I think. Well, do we? No, because we have Fire Shield. So we can do that. Bentas are no longer all in on ruining your day with bleed, which is nice. Let me see what that is. Okay. I'm going to get more damage on you. We can't play, we could play this. I don't think we actually care about the Barrier of Frost right now. Alright. We are now shocked, but it randomly sniped out the Benta, which is nice. We are now taking more damage, but that's okay. And then that's going to kill. that's the one we want. I don't hate Verminous Assault, but I think this is the one we want. Because that's just free draw, and draw is nice. It can also shock us, but it'll be fine. Okay. We are probably going to get shocked here, though. Because one of the awkward things about how this is going to shake out, I think we want all the burn. We're going to try and burn you out, because we should be able to just outright kill you. Yeah. I think it's worth getting shocked to get an outright kill. And then, what's left in the deck? Oh, yeah, I will absolutely draw a Resolute Focus. These other things, like, it shocks them as well. Not that we have a way to use that, but I think we do want Frostbite. I think we're going to try and freeze you out because you're applying whatever. So you're now effectively dead because you're going to burn out. You're applying bleed, but we don't super care. And we can get a purity now that it matters a ton. Like, the ship has sailed on getting shocked. All right, give everyone overcharge 1. We already have overcharge. They already have overcharge. The overcharged does not matter. We just did a skill, so that'll be more burn. And just do that. Hey, that'll do. Shock to all enemies. Shock to us. We get powerful. That doesn't seem the most useful. I think we'd rather just have the Arcane Visions or the Fireball. Both these are pretty good. I think we want the Fireball because we don't have one yet. And I will take the Turtle Shell. I maybe should have taken the Max Shock going into this. So Frostbite is kind of what we need based on this hand. And this enemy. Get 1 purity. 8 damage to everyone. Cool. Doesn't hurt. We can do that. Get more burnout. Keep just getting damage out. And then get shield just to be safe. And we win off of that. Okay. I don't think we want that. Sanctuary is very hard to pass up as a safety net. We're not doing anything particularly bonkers right now, so we would like a sturdy source. That is like one of the big things that I think this deck could use that it doesn't have right now. Okay, so I want to get out as much burn as possible, but unfortunately I think this is important. Because getting out burn is going to be helpful for letting us have Fire Tap this turn. And then I think we get more Frostbite on you. Freeze you out. The Sanctuary is a little bit awkward in this particular deck, just because we don't necessarily want to be giving shield to enemies early on when we don't have much damage. Our damage does go up later in the run. Alright, we can go ahead and do this, which will get us a good amount of shield to deal with the whatever. I think we want to get burn on you. There we go. The deck starts slow until we find a payoff. Biting Cold isn't really a payoff, but it does help. When I say payoff, I mean something like, well, you'll see. We'll get there. I say as though I'm being mysterious and not just forgetful. Stoke the Fire or Firestorm or... I mean, Glacial Touch isn't quite a payoff, but it is very good. I think at this point... no, that's still not worth it, I think. I should have played the Distill Elements. There was no reason not to. Okay, we're going to start by doing that. And then... we can focus on you. Because if we can kill you, that'd be very nice. And then actually what we want to do though is have you freeze on your turn. Oh, but you're out of Frostbite. I just thought you had one more. But we want to freeze out this summon that's about to come out. Because our ideal plan is for you to die. We do this. Which gives you Frostbite and gives you a decent amount of it. I think we're gonna do that. More Frostbite on you. Let's get more shield. Alright. This will try and summon again in a couple turns, so we want to try and kill it before it can do that. And that'll do it. Firestorm is a payoff. The Frost Orbs aren't actually that useful. Well, the Frost Barrier is okay, but I don't think we want to lose the max shield. But that doesn't do a ton for us either. I think it's a little bit better than that, although it's pretty close. I kind of like just upgrading the Firestorm, although I don't think we have the AoE burn for that yet. I think we probably want to upgrade the Fireball so we can play it out more consistently. And we do want to find, I think, another... We also need to upgrade the Frost Nova. That's the big thing we need to upgrade that I forgot about. So yeah, this fight, the Elemental Blast doesn't actually directly help us, but it is useful. We want to draw more cards. And then we want to do, just thinking through actually how we do this. Because doing that lets us distill elements. Like I want to get out the AoE burn, but I think it's more important to get out some of the other stuff. Getting Tough out right now makes sense, and then we can get a lot of burn on you, because you're the one that has to die first. Or the one that we care the most about killing, I guess would be the better way of putting it. Yeah, that's a good way to waste that shot. Because you're a problem. Does this kill things? Yes, it kills the back one at least, which is the one we care the most about. It does turn these off, but that's fine. We have this. And that. There is some mana. And yeah, I think we may want the increasing Inferno back. For when we have certain situations. This doesn't do that much for us, but the Incandescent Focus is pretty good. You're a jerk. I don't appreciate you doing that to us on turn 1. I mean, it doesn't really matter which of these we do. Yeah, Firestorm is going to be awkward until we get a little bit more AoE burn out, I think. We can do that, which helps. Although this would have been more helpful if we'd found it earlier in the turn. We could get shield, but I think we want to get damage out. Or, I mean, damage on one of them and then... Alright, we ideally want to be able to freeze you this turn if we can, although... Okay, it looks like that is going to be possible. I think we're okay with being shocked. Because we get to take them down with us. And by take them down with us, I mean we get to also shock them. I think we want to do burn, burn, burn. And then freeze. Bonk. Additional frostbite seems okay. I think the ability to gain mana in a pinch is good, and then we'll upgrade this Frost Nova because I think that having that extra AoE frostbite is very valuable. I don't think we actually care about any of the Gargoyle cards though, because it's funny because like they're all 3 elements, right? And then they don't drop any element cards, and then these 2 cards don't do really anything for us. That's fine. We have lots of epics in our pool that we want. The purity's annoying, but they only start with 1 purity now. I want to say they used to start with 2. But yeah, that's just gonna deal with that. Gets his burn. I think we want to get more frostbite out on one of them, so we can get shield. Doesn't mean that we don't get as much mana, but I think that's worth it. Hey, we end up perfectly avoiding that. Okay. So this wants to come out. Unfortunately, that's going to hit that. This will kill this one. This will force face swaps on 2 of them, which I think means we want to do that. And because we want to do that before we Frost Nova. This shocks us, but that should be fine. That's not a mana card. But we have this, and we're already shocked, so... Oh, you have Opportunist. I totally didn't realize. That's interesting, actually. Because you were popped, right? You had this X action. Huh. I need to run that back. That's at 17 minutes. Yeah, I'll have to watch that when I get done. I have to make a note for myself. All right. But I think we still, regardless, want to do that because that's going to shatter that stage. And now I think, well, still debating on whether I want to do this. Yeah, I think we do. And now we're not even shocked. I mean, now we're shocked again, but minor details. We definitely want to do this first. It means that no burn on you, but that's fine. You have Opportunist. Now you're burning. Unfortunately, this will eat all of our burn stacks. So we want to do that first. But fortunately, it will also pop phases on all of them. Let's do this first, and then let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay, so that's really annoying. Please don't draw the full 3. Thank you. And that gets us a little bit of shield. You won't actually do anything this turn. Like, that was just a bug on that side of things. But, oh, whoops. I'm not very smart. That's the thing about, like, that almost not never mattering, is that when it does matter, you get to feel like a right dummy. There we go. Mystical Touch is great. That helps. That upgrade is okay, but a little bit risky. Firestorm being cheaper is good, but I think we want AoE, more AoE from our Fire Shield. I think we need to find more burn cards as well. I hope there are Fire Phoenixes on the next map. We'll see. The Biting Cold just continues to feel kind of whatever. It's not bad. We'll keep it for now, but it has not really impressed me so far. All right. We get 2 Fire Phoenixes. That's value. And we could fight a Drake if we wanted to. We could fight Drakes and these, and just like get whichever one of those comes through. Is that better than getting... Yeah, I think it is. Because I would love to have a Mystic Ritual. Okay. Fire Shield. you have to do this. So one of the nice things about Glacial Touch and Frostfire is that Frostfire perfectly enables Glacial Touch. And we don't really need to use that. Yeah, I definitely kind of wish I had Increasing Inferno in the pool, because I think we would want to have it. We can get more burn on... Oh, you're all just going to die. Yeah, Firestorm is pretty good against weaker enemies. It's really just bosses where it's going to... And bosses that aren't, you know, Gargoyle, Sentry, where it's going to start to really show its problems. Another Fireball is pretty good. It's one of these two. I think Cursed Horseshoe is better. Burning Focus was really the whatever card that I wanted the most. So one thing that's nice here that we can do is we can play Cursed Horseshoe into that to get just so much burn. And like, that's nice. And, oh, I wanted to freeze you, but or I want to freeze the back one, but I can't. That's fine, I think that's still worth it. That's going to give us a purity. And we can get extra mana, apply more Frostbite, and then this will do good work for us. We could even cleanse off whatever if we wanted to, we just don't need to. And then we just in turn, we explode lightly, but we have purity, so it's not a huge deal. And then, yeah, like the Biting Gold isn't the worst, but Stoke is great. There's the finisher we're looking for. We're now kind of all in on Turbo Burn. And fortunately this will help, because both of these are good AoE burn options. Let's, once again, I think draw more cards, so that we can Fireball for maximum value. Get you frozen, because you're probably going to die this turn. Or the hope is that you're going to die this turn. I guess it's more burn. I guess that's fine. And then I can get more Frostbite out like that. We got just avoid the burn. Because the nice thing about the Mana Crystal also is that it is not just a emergency mana source, it is an emergency mana card. I do want you to die before we Fireball, I think, so that we can start burning the egg. Probably should have done that slightly differently. So one of the notes about how this specific fight works is that the egg is going to try, once the egg starts trying to hatch, the egg will try to hatch every single turn until it succeeds. Okay, it's almost there. And it'll die to the burn. But that's fine because we didn't even get to that stage of things. Yeah, Feed the Flames is kind of what I was looking for because it's the bigger, it applies more burn. This could be nice as a way to start getting burn out, but I don't know that it's better than any of what we have. I mean, I don't think it's better than the Treasure Hook even. Extra mana every turn is nice. I probably should cut something, but I'm lazy, and cutting things takes, the Biting Cold can go. It's been okay in the last couple of fights, but it's just, it falls off later on, and we're not that far off from later on. I'm going to get as much burn out as possible, because we have a Firestorm. And then, yeah, we can do that. which is actually going to put us up slightly on this. We do get shocked here, but the Chimera gets frozen at the end of turn, so we get an extra turn to work with. Draw extra cards first. And then we can cleanse and get tough. Oh, that does a ton for us. Unfortunately, we don't have enough frostbite to get the glacial touch working. But this will get us there. And now we go ahead and get more frostbite out because we kind of need it. I think we duplicate those two. We're going to get as much damage as possible, so I think we do that. Is that lethal? It is with this. There we go. I really like Mystical Bloom. Arrogant Silence is also not bad, but I like the Mystical Bloom giving us a growth source. And also just, I like having that extra, whatever. How much is this? Still discard 1 for burn 5, but Stoke Fire Plus is absolutely our upgrade here. If we're moving on. I do not want to mess with the Wisps because that fight is a pain in the butt. The Dragonfly, though. We will absolutely... I am much happier to fight the Dragonfly than I am the Wisps, if that tells you anything about how I view those fights. We're currently on skill. I think I want to do that. Although I guess with the Firestorm in hand, I should have focused on that angle of things. Alright, so yeah, that's going to get us started. We do get debuffed here, but should be fine. This fight's not actually that bad, usually, at least in my experience, which is admittedly somewhat limited. Really kind of want to copy that, but we can't. Start with that. See what we find. Okay, that's great. Man, it is a little bit of an issue. Like, we would love to have found, like, a Frigid Rites. We do get a gold card choice after this fight, I believe. So play more Frostbite, I think. Yeah, which we kind of need. We're a bit low on Frostbite. I think we are going to do that to cleanse off the poison. Get us some tough. Although this turn... Oh, right. That friggin' Purity ate the freeze proc. That's really rude. I think we duplicate these two. So we don't actually care about getting shocked, I think. We're going to pretend we don't care about getting shocked. I think that's a more accurate way of putting it. What are we not playing this turn? I think Barrier Frost is not coming out this turn. We can play that safely. The Stoke doesn't actually work this turn because of the evasion. And we can't get out enough explosions to deal with that. So we may as well do that. This is another growth from that. And then turn ends. We actually get a freeze. We are still overcharged because we doubled that, but minor details. I don't know why I bother playing both of those. We just super kill the first stage once we get whatever going. We really want we want this to be 2 detonations. Is it 15? 5 plus 18 is 23. We need 26. That is not good enough. And that's also not good enough, but we may as well do it. Oh, but now we only need 1 detonation. That is good enough. And then we can damage and do that. Oh, whoops, I messed up. I take a lot of damage because I am a big silly goober who was not paying attention to the self-frost. I had other things to do that turn that would have made that turn much better. They would have required me to not be dumb. Alright, there's more burn. We can get more frostbite out. More burn out, and then... yeah, like we're going to end up taking a decent amount of damage here, but most of it is just because like I absolutely did not need to... if I hadn't in my turn where I did last time, I could have saved a lot of damage. And all I had to do was just not be dumb. Alright. Okay. Lots of burn. Do we need to play this? I don't think we do. That kills. I think getting kills is important here. Yeah, it's also important. We do probably want to upgrade the Firestorm Plus, to a Firestorm Plus at some point. Oh, this is not quite lethal, but that is. Oh yeah, we took way more damage than we should have. We get a gold card reward. I do think a second Glacial Touch is good. It can be difficult to fuel, but if we can, it's just so valuable. And we're going to go this way. This guy can be a jerk, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. I think we want to do that. Frostbite's back. Okay. Just thinking what we end up playing here. Unfortunately, this isn't very good right now, and I think it's actually kind of bad. Because this would just... it would eat all of our burn ranks, and it wouldn't actually kill the things. Which can be the problem with Firestorm. Like, you do have to get it set up. But we have ways to set it up, which we're about to do. Firestorm is now set up. So we are going to shock ourselves here, but it should be fine. Because one of these guys is going to be frozen. Oh wait, we didn't actually shock ourselves there. I just thought we were going to. And now we have purity, which means that we don't care. We just pitch that because they have evasion. And they're probably not going to get unevasioned in time. Should have done that first. Pop you. Yeah, they're just going to die to their debuff stacks. Because like if we draw the Firestorm back, we just win. Like so. Shatter's okay. I just kind of like Shatter. I want to try it here. So Shatter is changed. It is now, you now draw it for free whenever an enemy is frozen. Which, you know, does mean that it is less valuable as the first card in your hand, but what are you going to do? Answer, draw it in your opening hand. It's not what I meant, but anyway. I think we want to start by drawing. Okay, because we want to play Glacial Touch, obviously, with the... So now, though, you'll notice we get our Shatter back. And it's free. I think we want to get Frostbite out, although we can just pop you, which is also kind of tempting. But we don't have follow-up this turn, so I think we're just going to do that. I should have put it on this one because this one's not about to die. Do that. She'll draw us back shatter, which I don't know that we actually want, because I may just pitch it to this. Actually, let me think. Yeah, I think I like doing that. I like getting burn on you. I would have liked to have drawn additional mana, but that's fine. Absolutely, we need to start upgrading our mana though, or I need to find a Frigid Rites from the next boss fight. Whichever one happens. I don't really have a preference. And then we're going to touch you. Which gets us back this. Just a little bit of damage. It's going to give us... Oh, that doesn't actually give us what we want. That does. Gets this back, which is not enough damage. That is enough damage. Let's just go ahead and get that dead. Okay, you're dead. Oh, now we don't have burn on anything, of course. Now we do. See what we get out of that. Okay, yeah, we are still just playing this though. We would have liked to have frozen, but we should still be able to win. So we just need any of our fire taps here, or fireball. We would take a void fire. I don't think we want to second feed the flames. Is this a better card draw trinket than Cursed Horseshoe? It may actually not be. It probably is. It's definitely better than the Pirate Hook, I think. Just because we can do it on demand. Don't think we have anything I super want to cut. The Shatter just being like, surprise, get an extra draw is very nice. I'm a big fan of that. Okay. Let's start by drawing some cards. Let's find some other more useful cards. That can go. That can go. That's good. Right, so now that's online. This can go. This can get us mana. This isn't on yet. Firestorm is now net positive on how many burn stacks it adds. And we're done. Is it worth getting this out for that? I don't think so. The main advantage of that would be to get the extra 1 mana from growth this turn. I don't think that's worth enough. This will probably shock us, but we're definitely going to freeze this turn. Yeah, that's fine. I think we do that. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. That doesn't give us that much extra shield, but we do want to be able to be shielded for when this comes out. Barrier of Frost would be cool. We definitely can't fund 2 Glacial Touches, I think. We definitely can't, I think. I'm very convincing, I know. Okay. So, I don't think we have enough mana to do everything I want to do. So when in doubt, we copy the Mystical Bloom. We do have enough mana to do this twice. I think we pitch that. I don't think we have room in the mana budget for that. I thought this was a Stoke the Flames. In my head, in all of my planning, that was a Stoke. This was a Stoke the Flames. Which I realize doesn't make a ton of sense, but... I don't expect you to excuse my actions, but I hope it at least explains them. In which case we just want this shield to block this huge hit because we cannot get that kill. Rude. Stoke is not lethal, but it will be if we can shock, which we can't quite do. Oh, we do. We just have to play another card so that the overcharge triggers, because that's just a bug. And then, yeah, that gives us lethal Stoke. So, yeah, we took a tiny amount of damage there. Drake Egg. We need this mana. Look, I have one loyalty, and it is not to mere humans. That's all I'll say. I think the other fireball... Do we need the 2 fireballs? I think not with the Feed the Flames. I think we're probably fine. Ooh, okay. So the Icy Gale is over here. The Shadow Flame Scout is over here. I think the Icy Gale is more important in terms of what it does for us as a run. Plus it means that we get to go fight the vessels, which is, you know, always more where I want to be. We don't have any protectors. We don't have that much cleanse going into Maw, but it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. What do we need more of? Answer, burn. We just played a skill, so that's going to be burn. All right. Free damage. Purity off of that. Or we could just not care about purity. Turns that on. This is pretty bad right now. Okay, Glacial Touch cannot happen this turn. As much as I want it to. I don't know that Firestorm is happening this turn. The irony is, like, I want to pitch Firestorm to this, but this is what's going to let us play Firestorm. So we can't play both of these. Like, that's just, we just can't. It's just not possible. So one of those two needs to be what we discard. I think we don't need this because we're playing that. This uses up all of our burn. We shouldn't... I'm very dumb. So I don't think we want to use up all our burn. So we do at least get to avoid getting poisoned this turn. I did that much right. That turns on the Glacial Touch. And I think... Ooh, but you have... We want the Poison Blood to be gone before we freeze you. But we only need one... we can use the Glacial Stare to freeze you. Actually, without even triggering Poison Touch or whatever. Poison Blood. I think we do that. So that we can get this mana and get that freeze. Which then lets us... But if you're already frozen, we don't need to Glacial Touch you. But we can Glacial Touch you. We can pitch that. We'll get it back when we use this to freeze you. Is that going to be lethal? It's going to be pretty dang close. In that case... Oh no, it is going to be lethal because it doesn't count the burn that it adds. There we go. Another one of these. This jerk. If we can freeze it, we're fine. But I don't think we have a way to freeze it right now. I think we're just going to discard that. Get out the burn. We now have plenty of burn on the Prowler, and the Prowler is not going to be able to kill you this turn. We do need to draw more cards. Do that. We can do that first. Now, plenty of burn out. I want to focus on you now because you're going to die soon enough to other things. But I do still think we do that first. We need that. So this is now online. We can freeze either of them. The question comes down to, I think we copy those two, because I want the growth, because we're not going to win this turn, because we just can't deal with this to work that fast. We need to tap you for the mana, because you're just going to die to Stoke, most likely. Or, I mean, Firestorm. Alright, that was a skill. More burn on you. Firestorm. That's not going to kill. That's free. This will block the arcane detonation from causing real problems. Or we can just end the turn. Without getting these detonations off? Yeah, well, yeah, without getting those detonations off, that's fine. We got all of the growth we needed, which was the reason we copied those we copied it to begin with. You're doing an AoE, which is not going to be as huge of a problem because these dorks start with evade. This actually works out great. They are going to kill, which is what we want to have happen. Actually, this is even better because now you're going to kill and you're going to apply burn to the shell. So we can start our turn with a shell that is on fire. Only slightly, but you know, every bit counts. I don't think. Oh, I don't think that's happening this turn either. But I lied. It's happening. All right, real quick, I eyeballed to make sure that I wasn't about to make the same stupid mistake I keep making. 3 damage. More burn. More damage. More burn. Should have done that in the other order. But it's not going to matter. That's a win. Persecute's not bad, but we don't need it. I think Blazing Ritual is more likely to be useful because we just need all of that. Whatever. This is probably better. It doesn't do a ton, but it does a little bit. So the thing to know about this Icy Gale fight, aside from the fact that it gives us great cards, is that every time we play a card, we apply Frost to ourselves and 1 Frost to ourselves and all enemies. So that's fun. You're setting up whatever again, which is very rude. We're just going to do that. We're probably not going to try and play too many more cards this turn because we don't really want to trip the opportunist. We mostly were just hoping to find whatever to go with. I think we do want this tough, and then we're going to end the turn. And we're just hoping that whatever happens this turn doesn't ruin our day too bad. All right, enemies get frozen. That's pretty good. They get a bunch of other stuff too, but the important thing is that opportunist has been denied. We definitely need to get Frostbite out from that. Oh, that doesn't actually work out great for us. Let's do this. We are probably not going to freeze ourselves here because we are going to end up, because we have whatever. Wait. Oh, it was from us freezing. That's right. There's a bug right now. We procced purity on ourselves from a self freeze, but that was enough to draw the whatever. So hey, free damage. We do want to be kind of careful not to freeze you, I guess. All right, enemies freeze up again, which means that you get frozen too, which is funny. To us, it's not funny for that, I guess. That looks miserable for you. But for us, it's good. Oh, that was maybe not great. Does that cost us? Oh, this is going to get our purity back. We're fine. And we just have to be careful to spend that, not spend that purity on this. More frostbite. I need to get more burn on you. I think we don't need the sanctuary. We don't really want to burn the shocked on this, but we will if we have to. It looks like we kind of have to. Oh, and then, right, we froze ourselves, and then I don't know why it did that. Yeah, that's not great damage, but it's better than spending it on whatever. Where did that shock come from? Oh, wait. Oh, but that was it, because it was the first thing we did after the overcharge was popped. That was what was going on. I got it. Now we can do that. Oh, whoops, now we don't have anything to discard. Well, I mean, it's good turns they need to do that. You're dead. Get more burn on you. That was actually kind of risky what I just did there, because we could have actually ended up frozen for reals. We didn't, but we could have. But we didn't. But we could have. Even though we didn't. Oh, whoops. I am very clever and definitely not prone to forgetting about self-debuff stuff eating up my purity. That seems like an okay way to end that turn. But yeah, that's kind of the thing I was worried about, was that 15 frost itself, but it didn't matter. We're going to accidentally end up freezing those at some point. But it didn't matter. And yeah, this is very good. It gives us 4 mana, and then it applies like this. That will self-freeze us the first time we play it, unless we have purity. But we can play it last. It'll give us mana for next turn, and it'll freeze out everything, which is pretty good. I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to do this, because we want to play relatively few cards. This is a great way to end the turn. It's actually kind of the perfect thing to end the turn with. We aren't playing that. I think we apply a bunch of frostbite to you. Oh, we're still in an icy gale weather, of course. We can go ahead and pop off one of your Death Force, and then we just freeze everything, including us. And then you saw that shatter really quickly whiz by as our turn ended. I really should be trying to play that last, so we avoid freezing ourselves. Chunk. We want to keep our purity. And there we go. Oh, whoops, there goes the Drake. That's fine. There goes the Prowler. And that should be lethal. Yep. This is very, very good. Unfortunately, I still haven't gotten, so this one is my design. This is my fault. So it's unplayable. When you play another card, non-mana card, while it's in your hand, you apply 1 fixed frost to everyone, and you increase that value by 1, or sets the base value when drawn. So while it's in your hand, you play cards out, and your goal is to line things up so that it freezes you at the same time it freezes everyone else. Unfortunately, I keep not rolling it. I've rolled the other two, both this time and the last time I played this deck, which is a bit disappointing, but because that card might be terrible. I don't know, but it is, whether it's good or bad, it absolutely is hilarious, and you cannot argue with that. Get frozen, dummy. We need this mana, so we can play that. I think we want more frostbite on you. Oh, we do also need more burn. But we have a decent amount. Do we do this? It's not for a ton of damage, but maybe the best we can do. We're going to play that, which is going to freeze us. And that's going to be how we're ending the turn. I think we do that. Do that. We absolutely want at least one detonation. And yeah, we will end by freezing us and both of them. Pretty good turn one. Actually, this is, no, I think we want to duplicatome the Stoke at some point. I'm actually okay with pitching that, I think. And I think we do need this shield because we are getting hit by this big attack because we are shocked. Hey, Lamau. Being weak is obviously not much of a threat. We can actually play both of these, which is nice. Oh, right, we get those. This is a skill, so that's going to be burn. And I think we want more frostbite out of it. Freeze you out. So this eats up one of our purity stacks, but it gives out frostbite. And we're going to do that so we can frostfire for frostbite. This doesn't actually freeze us because we have so much. Our self-frost has gone up enough. Oh, it does freeze you. Whoops. Forgot that this poor Drake is just going to have a bad day. We're going to do that, of course, before we double. And we're going to see if we can kill this. We don't do a ton of damage to it, but we don't need to do a ton of damage. It doesn't have a ton of health. Right? It is functionally dead. So that's going to pop that. There we go. That's fine. Oh, that's not enough. There we go. I may actually want to copy this. Just to get, doesn't quite kill though. Which is a disappointment. Yeah, I think we're still duplitoming it. Because I think between those two and the Mystical Bloom, we should be able to get a win. Yeah. There we go. I think another Firestorm is probably good. Once we get to the point where we're Firestorming, they're very good in multiples. It's just getting to that point can be tricky sometimes. I think I like this more than the Turtle Shell. We could take some damage, but I think it'll be fine if we do. We are going into whatever with like only the one cleanse, into Maw with only the one cleanse source with a relatively slow deck, but it'll be fine. kind of like Armor Frost Plus is a lot of shield and a lot of frostbite. And then I think we are moving on. There's an argument to be made for cutting the Drake Egg by heretics and fools, just because the Drake spends a bunch of time frozen. All right. Get to freeze both of them, which is nice. Which means that we get this back, which is just, again, kind of free damage. This is not the turn that we want Firestorm. Yeah, one of the other things is like we are shuffling the deck a bunch, which can mess with things. We can draw more cards. It's not really what we were looking for, but sure. It's going to force the shuffle again because it's going to draw us into this. We can at least fire tap. I guess that's fine. And then get, I guess, a detonation. Okay. That gets us purity. That gets us a decent amount of burn. I think we actually need that. I think we're going to go and do that so we can get this out. It was kind of a waste of the shock stack there, but I think it's worth it. Get us that much closer to actually getting this kill closed out. All right. Doubling that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, because that gets us lethal, close to it. This will get us plenty of shields, so we're not worried about that part of it. Because yeah, we can do that. Because we once we already have frostbite doesn't matter, and then we just have 156 shield, and nothing matters. And then we need, actually, the Drake can feast. Rah. Ravenous Intent is nice. Because that just gives us a little bit of healing, and it's not too expensive to just have in the deck. We take the event. Alright, that's not whatever, but it's fine. We have already a couple card draw trinkets, so I don't think we need that. This is, I think, worse than the little bit of extra stuff. This fight is, fortunately, relatively easy, because these things are very small. I like popping this into Fireball. I want to upgrade this, but I guess we can. We just have to do that. And that's how we get to that. I think you're the most annoying. Or not the most annoying, but the one that we are most able to actually get value out of hitting. We just played a mana card, so this will be Frostbite. Or no, we played a skill card, that's right, because we played Ravenous Intent, which I think it was 0 mana to play, which it was, but... that was a skill. So the question, do we want to put more burn on things? I think the answer is yes. I don't think we play... I think we do actually play that, just for safety's sake. We don't really need to, but we can. I don't even know how that was really made us any safer. Mostly I just wanted to play it. Sanctuary is kind of a card in this deck where we are holding it in the expectation of it being good in the boss fight. I don't think we need that. We do want more burn on everything. That's fun. I'm gonna get this out at some point. I'm just figuring out what else I'm doing first, and whether or not I can work my way around to duplicating it. Yes, I can duplicate it. Oh, the other thing was, like, I figured I might end up playing this. Oh, I don't actually need to duplicate it. I've got it over here. That's fine. Reason to duplicate the shatters because they're free against frozen things, but that's not going to matter. We're just going to wait for everything to burn out. And there we go. One firestorm later. Mine seed's okay. We could take another sanctuary, but I don't think we need it. I'm debating even bothering with rests just because we don't need them, and we don't need them. That's the whole reason. So that was a skill. So this is burn. We kind of need frostbite right now. Do that. We can set up frostbite. There. Oh, I had that for frostbite. Just wasn't thinking. But what else is new? So it's going to freeze us all, which is pretty good. Let's... Can we play this turn? I think the answer is likely to end up being, if yes, it'll be way down the line. Although right now, I suppose we don't have a way to play this either, but playing the one is kind of a prereq for playing the other. We copy that, even though I guess that doesn't actually do much for us. Besides, let's draw a couple. Oh no, there is space. I just thought there wasn't. So that's going to prevent us from freezing, although we're still going to pretend as though we are. And yeah, it's going to freeze those things. Let's get out a little bit of extra damage, I guess. Oh, we actually hit the frostbite into whatever at end of turn. It's a good thing we had that extra purity, because otherwise we would have been in trouble. I think we actually kind of needed to duplicate the fire shield, because we need the extra AoE burn. I think still more burn makes sense. This is actually safe to play right now. Doesn't even freeze our dorks. It only freezes the enemy dorks. Ta-da! We would like more burn on everyone. It's not the end of the world if we don't. Oh right, we didn't get rid of the poison blood first. That was a mistake. Let's get rid of the poison blood. And yeah, this is unfortunately not going to finish off this one. But the others die. And we get a couple explosions off here. And the drakes get to feed. Oh no, the drakes don't even get to feed, we just get that kill. Okay, I lied, we do just get this kill. I don't think we want the other fire tap, I think we want the contemplate. And yeah, I'm too lazy to even rest, we're just going in. We have full health. I don't think we rested at any point during that run. We just didn't need to. We're better than that. So we get out of that. I think we start stacking burn. Oh, whoops. This works. We would like to get that out, though, I think. I think that's the least important thing we have. Alright, this leaves us with a net positive amount of burn, which means I kind of want to play that. And by counter play that, I mean we're definitely playing that. You get to live, barely. You're absolutely going to have a bad day here, though. Because you're going to take this AoE hit, and then you're going to get cursed. So the poor Drake is only going to get one more turn before dying, but what else is new? So we want to do that first. I have no way to play that. Oh, we do. We have that. What am I thinking? I'm not thinking. You don't even... You poor Drake. You only got to attack the once before dying. I am a terrible friend to Drakes. I mean, I guess you could have guessed that given how many of them I killed earlier on the run, but... Shh. No tears now. Only dreams. This will freeze my Drake friend, but... Oh, it doesn't freeze the Drake because I froze myself first. Haha. The Drake is going to die to the frostbite instead. Probably. We'll see. This seems like a good duplicitome turn. Actually, I should do this, see what we find. Okay, yeah, because that's actually kind of perfect. I wanted to get that shock out so that I could get 552 damage. And then, can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. Even if it's just murdering Maws with fire, I guess. Anyway, let me get a screenshot of that. Let me get a kill. Let me screenshot the victory screen. So yeah, that is the state of Frostbite Burn right now. I think it's pretty good. I think that the Frostfire, you saw like the flexibility of that because there were times where it was like, okay, which mode do we need and how do we make that mode happen while still lining up our other pieces? I think the fact that we are able to run Glacial Touch and Firestorm and Stoke, like all three of those all fit in the same deck, I think that's very cool. Obviously, Drake Egg is the most important card in the game at all, period. Of course, Summon Dragon Friend. And, you know, those weather cards are very useful as well. So that's it for now. I will see you next time. Toodles.